So good evening to all of you. I hope I'm audible as well. So welcome back to day 2 of S-Ilp, that is our flagship integrated learning program. And as I've said, what makes this program special is to bring in that consistency, accountability, and most importantly, application of thought. And that is the difference between a topper and a person who's not able to clear this exam. And that is what we have tried to emphasize in this S-Ilp program. So coming to day 2, this is the topic that we would be covering. So this is the topic that we would be covering, that is preamble, union and its territories. So this session would be a quick and a fast session because not many questions have been asked. There are more number of questions in prelims. When it comes to mains, it is 1 or 2 questions, and the entire thing revolves around whether the preamble is a part of the constitution or not, what are the ideals and the nature of the state or the country, and all this are discussed in this particular topic. And also I hope before watching this video, I hope you would have watched the morning video that was published on how to go about this particular topic on preamble, union and its territories, what to emphasize, what not to emphasize, all that. So yeah, good evening Sanjay, and good evening Roli, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we'll start off. So coming to the prelims question, this was asked in 2021. What was the exact constitutional status of India on 26 Jan 1950? So this is a very simple and a straightforward question, and the answer for this is B, a sovereign democratic republic, because the other 2 adjectives to the word republic was socialist and secular, which was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. So the answer for this is B for Bangalore. I'll move on to the next question. The preamble to the Constitution of India is, whether it's a part of the Constitution, as I've already told you earlier as well, whether it's a part of the Constitution, not part of the Constitution. Here you need to also know the background of the cases here. So it starts with Berubari case of 1960, wherein it says that preamble is not a part of the Constitution. Initially that was the verdict given by the Supreme Court, saying that preamble is not a part of the Constitution, and it is nothing but it actually reflects the minds of the makers of the Constitution. This is what it says. But later in Keshwananda Bharti case and also in LIC case. So these are the 3 important cases that you need to know in the chapter preamble. So in these 2 cases, it confirms that preamble is a part of the Constitution. So obviously this is wrong. So it boils down to a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect, a part of the Constitution and has the same legal effect as any other part. This is wrong because simply said that preamble is not a source of authority as such, or it does not have any limitations as such, because the preamble has its value only when it is read with other provisions in the Constitution. Basically, preamble gives you just a framework on which what are the ideals and that the government should be governing, all that. So the answer for this is part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. So that is what it actually means, right? Though no limitation as such, no power as such or authority as such. So, and it has only effect when it is read with other parts. So because of which the answer for this is D for Delhi. Any doubts in this particular question? Any doubts? Meenakshi Yadav, the answer for this is D and not B. It is D for Delhi. Any doubts in this particular question? I hope you have understood why answer is D for Delhi here. Any doubts? Okay, if not, then let me move on to the next question. A very simple, straightforward questions, but as I said, conceptual clarity, especially in the first initial part, that is from all the way from historical underpinnings till the DPSP fundamental duties, it's more on the philosophical nature of it. So the conceptual understanding should be very clear in this initial part of the chapter. So which one of the following objectives is not embodied in the preamble to the Constitution of India? And as I said, even in my first morning session that I took, right, wherein I've clearly said you need to buy out the preamble, every word that is given in the preamble, that it starts with socialist, secular, sovereign, democratic republic, to liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, all that, and you should know the meaning in very simple terms as well, right? So coming with that, the answer for this, we have liberty of thought, liberty of expression, right, liberty of belief as well, where we do not have anything as economic liberty as such, right? Yeah, economic liberty as such. So the answer for this is B for Bangalore again, right? Any doubts in this? Very simple and straightforward questions again. Let us move on to the next part, and also it talks about liberty of faith, belief, worship, all that, but nothing to do with economic liberty. The mind of the makers, this I have already mentioned in the first question that I was discussing in Berubari case. It clearly said the mind of the makers of the constitution is reflected in the preamble. So simple straightforward questions in the first part of it. Let us move on to the mains question, right? So it says, discuss each adjective attached to the word republic in the preamble. Are they defendable in the present circumstances? So this was asked in 2016. So first of all, let me ask you, what are the adjectives attached to the word republic? Anybody can answer this? Anybody can answer this? Discuss each adjective attached to the word republic in the preamble. Are they defendable in the present circumstances? So what are the adjectives attached to the word republic here? Can anyone answer? What are the different adjectives? Yes? Anyone has an idea on this? Okay, fine. Coming to this, I'll start with the introduction. Again, an answer has 3 parts to it: body and conclusion. So in the introduction, I can start off with basically it is the preamble is nothing but it is derived from the objective resolution that was passed by Jawaharlal Nehru, right? Or even what does it? It is basically a preface to the constitution, or a more apt introduction would be on defining what are these adjectives that are attached to the word republic. That is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. And basically what does this signify is nothing but they are nothing but the core vision that was envisioned by the makers of the constitution. So this is how my introduction would be. So the introductions should not be more than, what do you say, 3-4 lines. So in a 10 marker, this is how I'll write my introduction, and when I come to the body, I'll discuss each and every word, all the way from sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. I'll define it, and I'll also say whether it is defendable in the present circumstances. The present relevance of each word is what I should be bringing in here. So I'll start with the word sovereign. So sovereign is basically having autonomy in taking decisions, whether it is internal or external. So I can write that, and I can also substantiate it with an example. It can be with respect to India abstaining from voting in the Russia or Ukraine war, or importing of oil from Iran, though there were sanctions put up on Iran, or it can be even Doklam issue, or probably standoff, or even the surgical strike where the government went ahead with its own decisions, right? Or even of striking of Article 370. All that, which shows that India is a sovereign country. It can take decisions which is impacting the country internally as well as externally. So these are the things that I'll be writing. So this is with respect to sovereign. Next, coming to socialist. So socialist is nothing but basically, in a simple term, it means bringing a welfare state, right? A welfare to all, all the citizens, and also removing the inequalities. So these are the two key words that I would be writing, and we have to defend whether it is India a socialist country, and we have a lot of social security schemes from all the from MG Narega, that is rural employment scheme, or Ayushman Bharat health insurance scheme, or any scheme that is related to women old age pension scheme. So we have so many schemes, right? And even the taxation system, as you see, the more you earn, the more taxation it is. So all that basically talks about a socialist thing. And even you can bring in article 39B and C in this regard of the PSP, wherein it says that wealth should be distributed equally among all, and also there should not be any concentration of wealth. Wealth. So all that you can write it here. But at the same time, is India really a socialist country? So then I can bring in facts from the World Inequality Report that was, I think last it was published in 2022, wherein I think it is around like 1%, top 1% of Indian population accounts for 57% of the wealth in India. Top 10% accounts for 57% of wealth in India, and the top 1% accounts for 22% of wealth in India. And the bottom 50% accounts only for around, I think it is around 13 or 14% of wealth. So that shows that is really India a socialist country. So these are the arguments I can pose here. Then going to the word secular, like secular, I'll just write the definition of it, where we treat all the religions equally, right, without any any discrimination as such. So I'll write, yes, we are a secular country. I'll substantiate it, but at the same time there are times where there is communal tensions, communal violence that is happening, hate speeches in terms of political mobilization. All this has been done, and also like the present uniform civil code, there's a lot of debates that is going on. So all that I'll be putting it here. Fine. Then going to the word democracy. Democracy is nothing but where the people is the supreme, people are the supreme, people's voice should be given hearing. So basically here it is nothing but through elections they elect their representatives. That happens over every 5 years. So all that, and we can quote how the elections have been happening every 5 years without any hiccups. Of course there were some hiccups during the emergency situation, all that, but still the elections are going smooth. So all that I'll be putting it in the word democracy. And at the same time there are issues with respect to EVMs which has been tampered. There are a lot of news on that, right, or how the people are getting influenced by misinformation in the media restrictions or press free. All that can come here, right, when I'm talking about whether I'm defending with the word democracy. Coming to the word republic, basically it means an elected monarch. That is the definition or meaning of the word republic. So of course we are a republic country because any citizen can reach the highest position of the president, the position that is the president position, right, irrespective of the background. And we can give a lot of examples, people coming from very vulnerable background or also the president, all that. So to a large extent we are a republic country as well. So these are the arguments that I'll be the things that I would be discussing in the body. Conclusion, I can say that yes, in the large extent we are sticking on to these values, but there are challenges, and it is the onus on the government, and also the citizens' participation is also equally important, right, to maintain these ideals and values in the long run. So, and because the ultimate responsibility of the government is to provide a just society where the resources are equally distributed. So this is how I would be concluding. So any doubts in this particular question? Yeah, any doubts in this question? Yeah, fine. Srinidhi says no sir. Fine, if there are no doubts, so this is how you comprehensively write an answer for this particular question. Let's move on to the last question of today. That is, what is the significance of a preamble? And this was asked long back in 2004, right? What is the significance of preamble to the constitution? Bring out the philosophy of Indian polity enshrined in the preamble of the Indian constitution, So majorly the introduction will again boil down to the same thing like what I had said. I had given you two ways of introducing this answer. So the same thing can go with this particular question as well. So a standard introduction can be maintained here. So that is with the introduction, that is done. So in the body, I'll be discussing, the conclusion also can remain the same. Just like what I had explained in the previous question, the conclusion also can remain the same. In the body, I need to bring out the significance. So this will be one significance. So this will be one subheading, and the other subheading is the philosophy of it. So basically in the significance, I'll be talking about what is the importance of preamble. So whether like it tells the ideals on which the governance should be followed, the words like liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, all that I can bring in here. So I can say that this is how it will help us. Then second, it also helps in interpreting whenever there is an ambiguity. The Supreme Court looks into the values, the principles and ideals, and accordingly the decisions are taken or the judgments are given. So that also it can be given. So this is what is the significance of the preamble. And also like what the nature of the country, it defines what is the nature of the country, a sovereign, secular, democratic country, all that I'll be putting it here. Then in the philosophy, I'll explain that. Again, it, as I said, the same word socialist, secular, sovereign, democratic, republic, and also the ideals. I mean, the field goes with justice, equality, liberty, fraternity. So these are the things that I'll be explaining here. Again, conclusion, just like the previous question, right? So this is what I'll be writing in this particular question. Fine. So that's it with today's topic. Any doubts you have? Any doubts? Yeah, Nandan, Srinidhi, Meenakshi, Niveda, Seema, any doubts in this particular question? Or not only in this, anything with respect to the preamble topic. And see, the other thing that you need to notice here is not many questions have come from union territories, but I've told you how to read it from UPSC's perspective in my first video of that morning video. So please look into it. You will get an idea on how you have to read, go through about union territories, what should I be emphasized, all that. But till date, there's not even a single question that have come in the word from union territories in mains part of it. Fine. Any doubts? Any difficulties that you're facing from day 1, day 2? Day 1 we did the historical underpinnings, evolution, provision, significant, salient features, all that. In day 2 it is more about the preamble and the union territories. That, and day 3 I've already mentioned. So in the day 3 we'll be dealing with citizenship, all that. It's already clear, it's mentioned the schedule as well. So we'll take up that topic, and what you should be studying, what not to study, what to study, what are the things that you should emphasize, all that explained in the morning video that you'll be getting between 8 to 9 in the morning. Please look into it. So accordingly, again we'll come back in the evening and we'll discuss a set of questions here. So probably it can go video live like this, or probably even through the tab I can connect and I can start explaining live on the question. So either of the mode I'll be using it tomorrow. Fine. And any doubts? Any doubts you guys are having? How is your preparation going on? Any difficulties that you're facing? Yeah, Meenakshi says, if criticism in preamble question, how to balance? See, basically, there are certain universal truths, Meenakshi, that you need to understand. So, the whatever words that are used in the preamble, everything is positive, and because these are nothing but the vision of the makers of the constitution. So there is nothing negativity about anything that is mentioned. So negativity, when I was also already explaining whether India is a sovereign, there you can question whether really are we a sovereign country, whether we are really independent of traditions, or whether we are a socialist country. If that is the case, why there is inequalities also, there is unequal income disparities also. So there, that criticism can come in each word like that. But overall as such, whatever values and ideals that have been mentioned in the preamble, that cannot be questioned. So there's nothing to balance as such in that, right? So in that the previous question that we discussed on the defendability part of it, right? So there, as I said, each keyword can be taken. So even if you look at it, democracy, yes, India is democratic country, elections are happening, but at the same time, there are issues with EVMs, which has time and again come in the news, or how the influence is happening, negative influence. So these are the criticisms that you can write here. Fine. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Yeah. I assume that all your doubts are clear. So let's come prepared for the tomorrow's topic. Please prepare well, and we'll discuss the PYQs related to that topic. And I think this session will be open till for another couple of days, and later I think from the 5th day it will be more to the it will be confined to the students who are enrolled for the mentorship program. Okay, fine. Thank you then, and wish you all the best. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಲ್ಲಿ